So we are recording also this event.
No,
So good afternoon, good morning, everyone. Today we have a talk on entrepreneurial leadership, innovation, and value creation. So basically, this topic is very close to my heart ever since I have been associated with the Institute of Company Secretaries activities and all. We have been, this has been my core area of talk, how a leader should behave, what are the different traits of leadership. And particularly now, I focus on entrepreneurial leadership because whether it is a practicing company secretary side or a person who is in business, it is all about enterprise and how you need to evolve yourself as an entrepreneur, and a lot of innovation and value creation is required for this leadership. To give you my background, we have a community called Startup Change Leaders, which is so we are meeting every Sunday at 11:30 a.m. And over the years, we have evolved, and we also have a YouTube channel now where this is CS Rajiv Bajaj. So we put all our videos which are recorded content on that channel. So do subscribe to that channel. If you miss out on programs, you can always catch up there. And I also have a company called Bajaj and Bajaj Corporate Chambers, which is into consulting all the SMEs and startups. I have been past council member of ICSI, past chairman of NIRC in 2012, and of course I was associated with SEMA, which is Consumer Electronics and Appliance Manufacturer Association. So let us look at what is entrepreneurial leadership. Entrepreneurial leadership is a mindset that emphasizes the strategic management of risk and dynamic and changing systems. Now, risk management is becoming a very, very important topic these days, because all entrepreneurs are facing risk day in, day out. So how to manage that risk and risk mitigation is becoming the core of the discussion point. As Ajish, you were mentioning that in Bangalore, there was an event on failure of startup. So why the startups fail? Failure is because of the risk, various risks they are around those startups, and they are not able to visualize those risks on time, or they are not able to mitigate those risks on time, and or they ignore those risks, and they actually end up into a trouble. And so the strategic management of risk is becoming a very, very important aspect for all the startups. And that is where I think we as people who are either part of the startup ecosystem or who are advisors to the startup, we must actually take out those risks. We must identify those risks and then try and give solution, or try and work out a strategy for mitigation of those risks. And also the environment around us is becoming very, very dynamic, because Fuji films, for example, we discussed earlier also, is one case in point, because they ignored the advent of the digital cameras and digital pieces which are there, and as a result they actually missed on the point that the camera films are going to become not so relevant. So and they continued producing those films, and ended up with huge losses because they were sitting on a tons of inventory. So this is one case in a point where you need to visualize the changes which are happening around you as the environment is very dynamic. The electric vehicles which are now intruding the system and roads, they are the ones where you need to actually be aware that these vehicles are ultimately going to replace all the other vehicles which are there, because at the end of the day, that is the way the things are going to be. Delivery systems, as we discussed, last time also, are going to change because people are going to follow because of the environmental aspects also, because ESG compliance, environment and sustainability is becoming a buzzword. Companies which are ESG compliant are getting much higher valuation as compared to the companies which are not ESG compliant. So the environment around us is changing. People are talking about carbon credits. People are talking about the companies which are low on carbon emission, and because of that, they are becoming much and much better stories to sell. And that is where the entrepreneurs also have to keep an eye. And systems are also changing around us. Earlier, we used to control things in a different way. I still remember the way accounting was done way back in 1990s when I started my career. We used to tally the trial balance day in, day out. For many days, we used to struggle in tallying the trial balance. But now, even your inventory planning can be done online through software. So, the e-retail companies which are having inventories, they don't have to keep inventories on different locations, because they know that if the order has come from Amazon, okay, there is a combined kitty of inventory. It can go from their warehouse to serve the order. And if it has come from any other Misho or for some other web portal, it can be supplied. So people are managing with much leaner inventory, much thinner inventory, because of these systems being available to them. So the innovation is actually changing our life, is changing the way business is being done on daily basis. So as an entrepreneur, if you're not aware, or if you're not keeping an eye on these kind of things, then you definitely will have a challenge later. So it is very, very important that we as a entrepreneur, we keep we are aware about what is happening around us. We are actually gauging the risks, and also we keep an eye on the dynamic and changing systems around us, and adopt those changes, adapt to those systems, adapt to those innovations, and be upright and be the best in the market. Because at the end of the day, you are there, you have to compete with your competition. So it's not that if the competition is having edge over you by way of having these innovative products with them, and you are not having, and you are not adapting to those changes, definitely you will face a challenge, you will face losses. So better you keep an eye on the competition and keep an eye on the what exactly are you looking at, right? And Entrepreneurial leaders look for new opportunities and the ways to innovate as individuals, as a part of a team. So basically, you are driving the organization. So as a leader, when you are driving the organization, you must have innovative ways to work on. And as an individual and as a team leader, you need to actually first adapt to those changes, and then pass on those changes to your team members, encourage them to follow those changes, and encourage them to go do bigger things in life, and to take the enterprise to the next level. So leader is very, very important. Leader is the key element for showing a direction to the organization, because at the end of the day, the vision and mission statement is driven by the leader. So if you are very clear which direction your startup has to go, which direction you as a businessman has to go, then it is much easier for you to set the goal for yourself, and to drive the business growth. So the key dimension of entrepreneurial leadership, let us look at that. One, knowing yourself, because at the end of the day, you must get into something which is, you are very clear how it is going to be, right? So if you know yourself, if you kind of, are clear about, what you are going to do, and you focus on the who before the what, because you must go deep into the things. You must go, whatever, when we say focus on who before what, means who will do it, who will deliver the results, who will bring the, so one lesson which I also learned very hard way is that in entrepreneurial leadership, if you try and do everything yourself, then sometime it doesn't work, because at the end of the day, you are the one who is, who is the center point for the discussion. If you know that this job which is there as a part of my system is going to be delegated to this person, or who will do it, who will actually deliver the results, who will do the operations, then you are definitely going to have much better control over the things, much better visibility over the things, and you are yourself knowing that what direction the company has to go, what is the vision of your organization, and then accordingly you take all the actions. Have a clear vision of the future, because at the end of the day, you need to be very, very clear as to what is your vision of the future, what is your how you are going to take things forward, and that is a very, very important aspect. Then great communication skills. So leader must have a a very excellent communication skills, because if you are a leader and you are not able to convey what you are trying to say, then you may not be able to motivate your team to that level. So the communication skills are the most important thing for a leader. Some examples we can see around the world is Barack Obama, right? Narendra Modi, right? Even today, he is delivering that Man Ki Baat, no? So He is constantly making a connect with the people who are following him. He is very active on social media. He is very active on Facebook. He is very active on Twitter, so to say. And the communication which is being done is seamless, right? So a leader must have great communication skills. And if you look at the people who have really stood out in the context of um, stood out as a leader. I was particularly very inspired by the communication skills of Barack Obama, because he is the one who, despite being a person who is not white in US, he was very eloquent in explaining to the people and creating followers for himself. And he rose and became the president of United States of America twice. I'm sure if their system would have permitted, he would have got elected third time also. But this is where the great communication skills can make a difference, and it can really make a change into the entrepreneurial leadership journey for anyone. Then adaptability. You must adapt to the situation. You should not get panicked. You should not have hang-ups. You should not have qualms about things. You should be very, very open and adaptable. So adaptability is another very, very important aspect for the leadership. And a leader must adapt to the situation. If you are going to a big city, you may be comfortable going to a five-star hotel. If you are going to the B class, C class cities and outskirts, you should be comfortable with the whatever comfortable place is available. So adaptability is the most important ingredient for a leader. A leader has to be adaptable to the changing situation, and you should not be straight-jacketed that, oh, I will not do this, I will not do that. No, you have to have that adaptability if you want to be a very, very good leader. Continuous learning. Now, this is something very few people realize, that continuous learning is a very, very important aspect of the leadership, because at the end of the day, you have to learn on continuous basis, and you should be always open to the new ideas, always and Narayana Murthy once said, I always keep smart people in my team because they push me up, so I learn from them. No, so very few leaders have a courage to say this, because learning is something which is should come to you very naturally, and you should be very open to learn new things, and you need to be open to learn them continuously. You should not have qualms about it. And create an atmosphere conducive to growth, because at the end of the day, you are there to grow your business. You are there to grow whatever activity you are doing. You are there to grow your company. You are there to grow yourself as a person. So entrepreneurial leadership basic ingredient is to have atmosphere which is conducive to growth, and you should continuously work on it. Why do we need entrepreneurial leadership? Now, let us go a little deep into it. One, in today's fast-changing world, leaders need to be agile. We all need to be agile. We cannot be, just thinking that, oh, somebody else will do this for me, or So as a leader, you have to lead the team. You have to actually lead the pack. You need to be able to make decisions quickly, take action, and learn from the results. Because at the end of the day, uh, it is all about quick decision making and action taking. No? And of course, every action will have some result coming in. So one, we must analyze those results, and then learn from those results as to how the progress is and how we need to look at the growth aspects from those results, right? And anytime anybody has any question, please feel free to pause me and ask for that, and I'll be too happy to answer that. Now, you need to anticipate the future, respond to unforeseen circumstances, and adapt to the change. So basically, it is all about anticipation. No, a leader must anticipate the future and respond to unforeseen circumstances. Visualization has to be very clear. You must, try and have a vision which is beyond the normal person's vision. No, because if the MD of Fujifilm would have foreseen that the films are going to be extinct, they would have taken steps to close, the production, and that would have saved them from a lot of losses. Panasonic spent so much on plasma technology. They set up huge plants in Japan for plasma TV. But one, plasma TV was a power guzzler. Plasma TV evolved from the fact that when you make a very big screen, the pixels distort, and it was not possible for a normal small LED TV or LCD TV to have such huge screen. So that's how plasma evolved. But then technology improved. The 4K and that kind of production was possible, and bigger screens were possible with the in LED TV also. So and LED TV is much more efficient in terms of the picture quality as well as power. It is much lesser power consumed. So the entire world, when they were moving into ESG kind of a thing and sustainability, high power consumption was considered as negative for the plasma. So they took a call. They closed down the production of all those plasma factories. So, and they took this call in a very, very smart way. Few years back, they could have sold the plasma TV for some more time, but there's no. Yeah.
मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि फास्टैग से एक्वायरिंग सर्विस बहुत टाइम ले रही है रिस्पांस देने में.
Mukul, can you can you mute yourself, Mukund? Yes. So okay, all right. I think the plasma was one example which I shared with you. This is something which also applies to Fujifilm, and you need to anticipate and, of course, respond to unforeseen circumstances and adapt to the change. That relies on entrepreneurial leadership. In other words, entrepreneurial leadership is like whitewater rafting. The ride, to ride the waves of change, you need to be strong, having strong sense of purpose and motivation. You need to be committed and have an effective team working with you. So it's not only your commitment, you need to have a team also working with you, and you need to be having that agility to respond quickly to change direction when needed. So what are the role for entrepreneurial leaders? One, initiating and leading business activities, very clear. So we must be initiator and leader for business activity, because at the end of the day, it is for us as a business leader to deliver the results. So we must be initiator and leader for business activity. Allocating employees duties, no, because at the end of the day, as I mentioned, the biggest mistake the entrepreneurs sometimes do is they think that they can do it themselves, and they don't employ people, they don't delegate things to people, and that results into a situation where they cannot actually grow at the pace at which they should have grown. Because at the end of the day, if you are trying to do everything yourself, after all, how long you can sustain and how fast you can grow, because the growth speed becomes very low if you are trying to do it without the help of people. So you need to allocate the duties to the employees. Forecasting business changes, I think we discussed this, that you need to be a visualizer, and you need to forecast what kind of changes are going to happen in the business environment, and you change your strategies accordingly, and be a, person who is having that eye on future, and accordingly build your products, build your company, build your insulate your company against the risks which may exist, uh, and they may come on you. So it should not be that all these risks are coming like a tsunami, and you know drifting your business all the way. You should actually visualize these risks, and take actions, and set your direction in a way that you don't get swiped away by these business risks. uh, Creating jobs, because at the end of the day, entrepreneur is all about creating more jobs. So it is your duty to contribute back to the society, that you are creating more and more jobs and people, and giving them employment, giving them direction. And that's what the entrepreneurial leadership is all about. Identifying business opportunities, of course, because at the end of the day, we are all here for doing business. So if you identify the business opportunities, and try and go in that direction, then you can definitely make success out of it. So must identify business opportunities, and get into those business opportunities, and go for the results. Then creating and sharing wealth, uh, because at the end of the day, we are all here to create wealth, uh, and share wealth through what? Through ESOP schemes, through you know various bringing in co-founders, sharing your ideas and knowledge with them, creating that atmosphere where wealth generation happens. So that is the role of entrepreneurial leader, creating and sharing wealth. Improving the standard of living, because at the end of the day, if we create wealth, surely the standard of living for yourself and for the people who are working for you will definitely go up. So this is a very natural thing to happen, and one should take pride, and one should feel happy and satisfied uh, mm, with this situation, that we are improving the standard of living and taking up and reducing business risks. So basically, risk management, that is why is becoming a very, very important aspect for any business, because you need to take up and reduce business risks, and try and evolve yourself as an entrepreneur, as an entrepreneurial leader. Now, what are the skill sets which are required? One, of course, we just discussed, communication skill. And that is very, very important, because if you are not a good communicator, you are not able to convey to your thoughts to the people down the line, or people who are working with you, people who are working as a part of your team. So you must acquire those communication skills. It's not that only English speaking is a very good communication skill. No. If you are doing a regional business, even if you are able to communicate very effectively in your regional language, that itself is a very big asset. So, but at the end of the day, people who are listening to you, people whom you are leading, they should be able to understand effectively what you are trying to convey, and they should be able to appreciate what you are trying to do, right? So communication skills are very, very important. Vision, of course, every leader has to be visionary, so vision has to be there. So skill set of acquiring the right kind of vision is a very, very effective um, aspect of leadership. So you must develop and work on this. You need to be a supportive person, right? So because uh, people look upon to the leader has to be always very open minded, but also very supportive. Because at the end of the day, if you are not supportive, uh, the people who are interacting with you, they may not feel comfortable with you, and if they are not comfortable with you, then you are not able to uh, have that sense of creating sense of follower in those people. So a leader without follower is nothing, no. So if you are saying, oh, I'm a leader, but you don't have a follower, that means there is something wrong, no. So you need to be supportive, and you must have self belief, because at the end of the day, um, your self belief can actually drive the project. Because if you don't have self belief, then you can never lead the project. So you must develop this very important aspect of self belief, and share success. Because at the end of the day, we need to share our success. As I said, share your wealth with the people. So that is very, very important aspect. Create an atmosphere conducive to the growth. Honesty, this is again a very, very important aspect. Integrity and honesty, because we have seen a big organization like WorldCom, Satyam, they evaporated and finished, no. Arthur Anderson, the big law accounting firm, they vanished because they were not actually standing the test of honesty, and they were getting into activities which were not so perfect. So that is why they couldn't take things through and involved, because at the end of the day, you must be involved in all the activities, and you must take things forward. So what are the initiatives to get you recognized as an exceptional business leader? One, show ambition and a sense of urgency in every role, because you must, not only be ambitious, show ambition, and have the sense of urgency in every role. Visibly accept full responsibility and accountability. As a leader, you should not be passing blame on others. No, you have to be accountable and responsible for your actions, and you must have the courage to own them. Uh, Create innovative change and from existing resources. So you need to constantly create that innovative mindset and change from existing resources. Build community with team members and advisors, um, because at the end of the day, you are if you have a knowledge, if you have intelligence, but you are keeping it to yourself, that's of no use. You need to actually pass on that information to others so that they can also make use of it, and they can also learn from it. So build a community with team members and advisors, and be transparent in communicating your values. And you need to be very, very open minded and transparent in creating your values and needs. That's the most important aspect. And continually enhance your leadership through feedback. Now, feedback is again a very, very important aspect, because this again, I read somewhere Narayana Murthy mentioned that the biggest asset for a leader is the feedback system. So and that feedback system has to be very perfect. You need to filter also the information which is coming to you, but at the end of the day, you must have that feedback, and you must be very clear, that feedback comes to you, and you are taking the right kind of decisions based on that feedback. So entrepreneurial ecosystem is a very important aspect, which we all need to work on. So I can take a pause here, and if any of you have any comment or question so far, whatever we have discussed, I'll be too happy to answer. Anybody with any comment or a question? Yeah.
Could you please give an example of mission and vision statement?
Yeah. So Ajish, if you look at any pitch deck for any startup, the first or second slide is always vision and mission statement, right? So vision statement is that what is it that you are visualizing, and how you are going to take this organization forward. So what is your vision? No, for example, Institute of Company Secretary, which I belong to, has a vision statement to be a corporate governance professional body, right? So they have a very clear vision that they want to create professionals who are going to be experts in corporate governance field. No, so similarly, every startup has their own vision statement, that what they want to be, right? And then the mission, that through that vision, what exactly they are going to achieve. So what is the mission of that organization? So some organizations have a mission to change the, for example, it's a healthcare company, so they have a mission to serve these many people, no, to change the lives of people. So like that. So you have to have a very clear vision and a mission statement. Yeah.
Thank you.
Anybody else with any other question? So moving on, an entrepreneurial ecosystem, as we can see, is the social and economic environment affecting the local and regional entrepreneurship. So basically, it is the environment which is existing around you. And at the end of the day, when we are dealing with it, we must know what is the environment around us. And entrepreneurial ecosystems are defined as a set of interdependent actors and factors coordinated in such a way that they enable productive entrepreneurship within a particular territory. So that's very, very elaborate statement, that the ecosystem is what is giving you the comfort where you are working. So you must, for example, if somebody is trying to, I know Pakistan also, sorry to say, Pakistan, but it's an example which will make things clear to you, has a big population, right? So companies like Coke, companies like many other big giants which are present in all those countries, uh, they can't leave the market of that country. But sometime back now, things are a little better. But earlier, it used to be a situation that you never know where the bad activity may happen. So the companies were having headquarters in Dubai, and they were managing the operations in that country. So that kind of business decision making and ecosystem or an environment also you have to keep in mind when you are making your strategies. Similarly, for example, Sri Lanka. We take Sri Lanka as an example. Now, the economic situation there has worsened. So, if the company is not considering this fact that their currency deflation or is happening very rapidly, and there was a lot of turmoil now, again, they are trying to stabilize. Um, you know, if anybody is just keeping eyes closed on that fact, they can never succeed, because at the end of the day you have to survive in the environment which is there for you, right? So innovation is the necessity of the time. So and innovation and entrepreneurship go hand in hand. A leader need to be innovative. You have to have that kind of spirit to be innovative enough, so that you change your strategies on continuous basis to meet the environment around you. So let us look at what is innovation. It is a new idea, method, or a strategy, or the act of introducing something new, right? This can be a business model, this can be an idea, this can be a service or a process. For example, introducing new technology that can reduce the rate of electricity consumption is an innovation, right? So a company, for example, these days ESG is a buzzword. If you are putting panels for solar electricity. So that means you are, taking a very bold step, and you are one, reducing the carbon footprint, and at the same time you are adopting, the new methodology which is available. I was listening to someone. He said that we reduce the paper usage, because what they did a very simple thing, that in the printer, shared printer, there were no separate printers. First of all, the shared printer had the rule was that, okay, everybody who is taking the printout has to punch the number, employee number or whatever. So once you punch the employee, so you come to know that what are the pages you are printing. So automatically there was a drastic reduction in the printing, people taking printouts. And that is something, because every one paper reduction means we are reducing the falling of trees, and the kind of you are adding to the environmental improvement. So sustainability and ESG is the buzzword, and many organizations are adopting it. The role of innovation in entrepreneurship is, with the rising competition and all the facets of human endeavors, business entrepreneurs need innovation to remain relevant. Fuji Films is one example I said. But what is the role of innovation in entrepreneurship? One, it has to be replacement or improvement of something, no? Because why we do innovation? We want to improve. We want to move to the next level, and we want to actually show that we are doing something great. So I think that is, a very relevant aspect of so as entrepreneur, exploit and develop different strategies. As an innovative entrepreneur, you need to have the ability to come up with innovative products and services to meet the market trends and demands. So this is again a very, very important aspect. Now let us quickly look at value creation. What is value creation? So value creation is the process of turning labor resources into something that meets the need of others. No, so you need to turn the labor or the resources into something which is which is meeting the needs of others. Includes farmer growing crops, workers building something in a factory, as well as other intangible goods like computer code or creative ideas. These are all examples of value creation. And from business perspective, value is created when the company earns and returns its on capital and create a revenue, because and when that revenue exceeds the initial capital, that itself is a uh, you know mm, uh, is a very good example of value creation. So I think from our discussion today, entrepreneurship is something which is there is no shortcut in this. You have to be a good leader and be a very clear cut learner for doing the entrepreneurship. And so what are the different facets of value creation? One, decision making under uncertainty, which is a very important thing. Analytical and critical thinking, this again is a very important aspect. You must have that analytical and critical thinking. Complex problem solving, because at the end of the day, you must solve the problems. You must have entrepreneurship and creativity. You must have design thinking, because that is something, sorry, very, very important. Your mindset has to be very clear on what you are producing and what is the direction you are going in. And cognitive flexibility and adaptability. So all these aspects are very, very important for the entrepreneurial leader to possess. So as you can see, decision making under uncertainty. Now environment is definitely going to be uncertain. So how you are taking decisions in that situation, that brings out your leadership, right? And analytical and critical thinking. Now you need to have that kind of capacity to analyze everything and have that critical thought process. Complex problem solving, everybody can solve the problem, but the complex problem can only be solved by the person who knows how to do it. So you need to possess that kind of qualities for complex problem solving. You must have that entrepreneurship. You must possess that kind of creativity. Creativity again is very, very important aspect of entrepreneurial leadership, because if you're not creative, you may not be going in the right direction or taking those right kind of decisions. So I think as a leader, you should always have a creative mind. You should always look at things in a very abstract way, and you must have that kind of clarity of mind as to what you are trying to achieve. And design thinking, I think, is very clear. And of course, cognitive flexibility and adaptability. So creating value to gain competitive advantage. Of course, a business is profitable if the value it creates exceeds the cost of performing the value activities. So at the end of the day, it's a very simple game. You need to be creating the uh, values which is more than the cost of doing that activity. Only then you are profitable. So nobody wants that we burn cash, or we burn the burn rate is very high. And to gain competitive advantage over its rivals, a company must either perform these activities at a lower cost or perform them in a way that leads to a differentiation and a premium price or more value. So, I'm advising a company where there's always a discussion that should we play, or should we uh, uh, fight with the competitors by reducing our price, or we should create a differentiation and sell our products at a premium price. I think the latter is a better strategy to create that differentiation and sell our products at a higher price, but uh, give that kind of satisfaction to the customer, so that the customer is always looking towards you, and they appreciate what you are delivering. Because at the end of the day, that is going to give you competitive advantage. If you are simply going to follow the others, or you simply follow the competition, then maybe you may not get that kind of competitive advantage. So there is a very clear cut strategy of creating value for gaining competitive advantage, is that you must your value which is created should exceed the cost of performing the value activities. Only then you will make profit. So this statement is accounting and finance person's clear view on how you should structure your organization, and how you should actually do your business. Because at the end of the day, we are all here to make money. Nobody is there to burn money. So that with this, I think we conclude our today's discussion. So I leave the floor open for another round of question and answers. Yeah.
Would you please throw more light on ecosystem? Like, what did you mean by that? Start entrepreneurial ecosystem.
Yeah. So, Ajish, when we go in the market, we have to be aware about the environment which is around us. No, if I gave the example of Pakistan, doing business in Pakistan, right? But that's another aspect. But for example, now I don't have a control. I'm headquartered in Delhi NCR, for example, right? Now let us look this case in point of Zip, right? And now Zip, when they launched their services, they first started in Delhi NCR. Why? Because the leaders, the leadership team, they were sitting in Delhi NCR. So they thought that it will be better for them to test the environment in this area, right? And then they developed the model, they tested the model, they made it successful, and then now they are already in Bangalore. And I'm sure they have a plan to go to other cities also, right? So the ecosystem which earlier they were comfortable, they worked in that, right? So and then they were doing, now they are doing geographical expansion. So ecosystem is the environment around us, and there are so many factors. They can be financial factor, they can be political factors, they can be logistic issues. So all these aspects need to be considered when we are taking a decision about starting our startup or starting our business. And of course, the overall competition which is existing around us, whether our product, whether we are solving a problem, whether we are giving a solution which will be lapped up by the people around us. So all of these factors constitute the overall ecosystem which exists for us to do business. Yeah.
Thank you.
So friends, thank you very much. I think we are closing well on time. As you know, we meet every Sunday for at 11:30 a.m. And our community, let us spread the message across, make others also join. There are many people joining on the Facebook also, and we would continue to strive and share our knowledge base with everyone on entrepreneurship and startup ecosystem. We are very focused on that, and let us make sure that we all grow together. And in case you have you want to join the community or you have any questions, do ping in. You have my Facebook handle. You have my you can reach out to me on my mobile, which is 98114-53353. So look forward, and thanks everyone for joining in. So thank you very much. We continue next week, 11:30 a.m. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.